Dottie, who's next?
I have James on line 1. He's 38 years old, and he has some peculiar obsessions.
He does. James?
Yes, David.
Hi.
Hello.
You have peculiar... what is going on?
Well, I'm in love with something that doesn't exist. I guess most people would relate it as being a fantasy woman.
Who is?
A combination of a regular female woman and a spider.
What are you talking about?
Well, I was a virgin until I was 28, and I didn't find that very appealing. And I've been abstinent since, and I'm 38 now. And I know that she doesn't exist on this plane. And I'm...
Who is this? Is this someone after a cartoon character?
No, it's not a nothing cartoon. I would imagine the closest thing that I could relate to you that you might associate with would be like Spider-Woman in the cartoons. But I've resigned to realize that she does not exist on this plane.
Okay. When did you first develop this obsession?
Probably when I was about 16.
Okay. What was going on there?
I was just living a normal adolescent life.
You want to be more specific?
I was dating and everything seemed to be going normal and all that, except for in my mind I was a little bit slower and shy and everything with girls, unlike my friends. And because there was an obsession with this, again, I guess most people would call it a fantasy woman.
Okay, now when that woman was in your fantasies at 16, what happened in the fantasies?
I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I guess I've had dreams about spiders, and I don't know. I have sort of an obsession. I like spiders too. I like to watch spiders.
Okay, but I think, it's obvious what this is, right? I mean, it's a retreat from the fear of being rejected and not being loved into a world that you've created that makes you, even if it sounds bizarre, it gives you a degree of comfort and control.
That sounds plausible.
Well, what else would it be?
I don't know. Again, I don't know if a feeling like this is normal or.
Well, let's stop talking about the manifestation of the feeling. The feeling is that you became abstinent following this relationship because I suspect you were hurt.
Yeah, I've been hurt a few times in relationships.
But you became abstinent, you said.
Yes.
How were you hurt in that relationship?
How am I hurt?
How were you hurt in the relationship, which was the last relationship before you decided to abstain?
Well, that was the one and only time I ever did have intercourse.
Okay, and what was intercourse like for you? Was it pleasurable?
No, it felt kind of cheap and dirty.
Okay, why?
Because I met a girl and I thought she was nice looking and everything, and I had sex with her on the first night that I actually introduced myself to her, and again, I haven't had it since.
And the reason why you stopped after that?
Because I didn't find it. I thought it. Oh, I didn't find it to be what I thought it was going to be.
What did you think it was going to be?
I guess a pacifier for my real love.
A pacifier for your real love. Please explain what that means.
Well, I've grown to believe that this Spider Woman is, in my mind, a perfect mate. That someday after this life, maybe it'll come about.
How much time do you spend thinking about this?
A great deal.
I suspect.
I've even made computer animations and everything else.
What do you do for a living?
I'm in telecommunications.
Uh-huh. And what do you do with the animations?
I've made animations to look like a Spider Woman.
Okay. Mostly, this is a creation that you use to keep from being lonely.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yes.
And the point is that life is about being open, being able to share that openness with another person, and to find someone to grow old with. You agree?
I think so. I don't know if I'm that interested in finding someone to grow old with. I think the only thing that keeps me going right now is my love for my nieces and nephews. I live my life for my brothers and sisters and my nieces and my nephews.
You don't have any desire to have kids of your own?
Somewhat, yes. But the world scares me, too.
I understand that. It's not just the world, it's everything, right?
Right.
Yeah. So this is the Spider Woman is someone that you can trust because you have control over her.
Well, I don't feel like I have control over it because I don't feel like I've ever...
She's your creation.
Yeah, I guess she's my creation.
You can animate.
I just don't know how she got there.
She got there out of your loneliness. When I was a young therapist, not too many years ago, I had a young lady who...
Oh, you're still young.
Hey, one more call like this and I'll age, I'll tell you. A young gal who had problems of getting close to guys, and she had created a world of horses that spoke a special language to her. And she was 15 at the time. It's a fragile age, right after adolescence is settled in, where you are a sexual being, and you're no longer starting adolescence. You're no longer really in the middle of it. You're starting to get to the point where you could be considered an adult by some people's standards. And you get very scared, because what you want is something that feels like you're playing with fire. And then you wonder about rejection, and you wonder about anyone ever loving you, and you feel this great capacity to love someone, but also this great vulnerability that you have at the same time, and you're running away from it. I think you need to talk to someone regularly about this, because
You think I need to talk to somebody what?
regularly. I think you're a good person.
You mean to open up to
Sure.
a friend or something?
No, I think you ought to see a therapist, just so you get so you don't feel so isolated, and all of this isn't held within, and you get the sense that maybe there's another way of answering the problem of your loneliness that can bring you a sense of peace and maybe a sense of completion in the world that seems to be missing.
Well, that's what I think I've found with my nieces and my nephews and everything. I was suicidal for quite a few years.
Listen to me. When I say that I think you should be with a therapist, I really mean that. That's good advice. We'll be right back following this. Stay tuned.